How prevalent is norovirus on cruise ships? Great question. It's actually not as prevalent as you might think. Actually, if you look at the CDC data on norovirus, there's about 1% of all, it's like 1 or 2% of all, or less than 1% of all norovirus cases reported to the CDC emanate on cruise ships. The vast majority occur at nursing homes and schools, and then restaurants. I think it's in that order. I think it's nursing homes, schools, and restaurants. But the news doesn't report on norovirus when it happens at the Country Corners retirement home. Nobody cares. I'm not saying nobody cares, but nobody. It doesn't generate headlines. It doesn't generate clicks. But on a cruise ship, outbreak at sea. Ooh, right? That's why it does it. So does it happen? Sure. Is it common? No. Is there any chance Icon gets delayed? I mean, is there a chance? Sure. Is it 1% or 99%? Have no idea. And whenever there's a new cruise ship, there's always a chance of it, Jack. Certainly, as of right now, I have no reason to believe there is it's going to be delayed. Things can change. So you never know, but that is the risk that you run, so to speak, when you book a new ship, and especially if you want to be on the inaugural sailing. But it's just one of those things that's out there. There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to a new cruise ship, and it could happen, but there's no reason to believe as of yet that that's going to be the case. Do you know, can you wear a swimsuit tankini in the Windjammer, assuming you're not dripping wet, of course? No, you're not. You're supposed, I mean, you can wear one, but you need to have a cover up or something to wear over it. You can't like roll in with just a swimsuit. You need to have a cover up for it so that you're not coming. If you're a guy, you have to have a shirt on. So yeah. Does the check-in open midnight Eastern time or midnight of the port of departure? Warren, is PG Cruiser putting you up to this question? Because the answer, I believe, is midnight. Midnight, not midnight of the port of departure. Midnight where the cruise ship is. Yeah, which is kind of weird. That's my understanding of it. Going on an Independence of the Seas and booking our first Grand Sweep at No Coastal Kitchen. What do we get in place of that? Nothing. Nothing. I mean, you have for breakfast, usually like chops is reserved for suite guests, and you get a plated breakfast site or just a reserved seating area. That's about it. So obviously when you're on a ship that has the Royal Suite class that has coastal kitchen like a Quantum or an Oasis class ship, yeah, you're going to be getting a lot more benefits there. That's kind of the idea. But it's but otherwise you don't have those things on the ship like Independence of the Seas. But there are other benefits, and it's still a nice way to cruise, no doubt about it. How turbulent is the Gulf of Mexico? Jill, it's kind of like asking how much does it rain at your house, or let's use the airplane example I gave earlier. How turbulent is a flight from Orlando to New York? One day it could be turbulent, one day it would not be turbulent, right? Same is true for cruises. Jill, it's not a hard and fast rule. It can be very calm. It might not be so calm. It might be a little choppy. It's guys, it's rarely like super duper bad. So my best advice to you is don't worry about it. Honestly, if you ask people that have cruised a lot, like 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 times, right? If you were to ask them to rank their concerns, rarely do you see that in the top 10 concerns, seasickness or emotion in the ocean. Whereas first-time cruisers have it very high on their list because it's just something I think first-time cruisers think about more. But as you cruise, you realize, oh, it's really not that bad at all. So yeah. I know you've stayed in the 2-bedroom Aqua Theater suite. How was the motion all the way in the back? Also, what do you think of the room? I enjoyed it. I think I did a video about it here on our channel back in December or January of this year. So you can get more information. I liked it. I mean, here's the thing. It's a great view. The balcony is fantastic and amazing. Do you feel motion on there? I remember on the Wonder Inaugural, there was motion. And then we did it last December, the same cabin, and we felt like no motion at all. So, when you're all the way in the front or all the way on the end of a cruise ship, sometimes the movement can be a little more, but I wouldn't really worry about that. I certainly would not book the room because of that, unless you're like extremely sensitive to it. I would say the bigger issue with the Aqua Theater suites in general is that it's a very long walk from the suite back to the elevator. So you'll get over it, but it's like, oh, kind of wish I had an inside room. I'd be home already, Will prices for Icon of the Seas drop anytime soon? Probably not. If they do, probably not to the point that you're expecting it when you talk about a price drop. New cruise ships always command extremely high price or higher prices than other ships out there. Is the name of the game. We've seen this. If you, every new ship that comes out always has the most expensive prices for them. It's the premium you pay to go on a new ship. Whereas, of course, Stormy, if you go on, Brilliance of the Seas, right, you'll pay a fraction. Mariner, heck, even Symphony of the Seas will be cheaper on average than Icon. This is how it goes. So do I think that prices will drop anytime soon? You might have a little bit of like a variation, but not like a like super crazy low, if anything like that. What drink package you recommend for a child? None. You don't need them. They don't need them. Don't get one. There's drinks included, some drinks included, and if they want to get a soda or a pina colada, virgin, you can purchase them a la carte. Yeah, I don't think a kid needs a drink package. Cruising to Alaska in June. What should we do in Juneau and Skagway? Juneau, go to Mendenhall Glacier Park. It's amazing and beautiful. When you get to Mendenhall, it's a really very, when I say hike, not what you're thinking. It is a paved path. It's like half a mile. It's really easy. Take the hike to Nugget Falls. Carol, you will be like, Matt is a genius. It's amazing. Yeah. Mendenhall Glacier Park. Take a taxi or something like that. There's buses. Anyway, Mendenhall Glacier Park. Go to Nugget Falls. It's amazing. Skagway. I would do a twofer in the day. I would start off your morning, do the sled dog experience. We get to meet the sled dogs. It's only like a couple hours, and then walk around downtown Skagway. Really, really nice there. Would you consider a 3-night cruise worth it if it's a fly in? If you got a really sweet deal on the cruise and airfare, sure. If it's your first cruise, no. 3-night cruises in general are cruises I would argue are good for augmenting your cruise experience, not replacing it. My advice to you, if you're, unless you're getting a steal of a deal, I wouldn't say, if like especially with airfare prices these days, probably not. But hey, sometimes you just need an escape. Sometimes you just need to get away. Not to borrow a search of a marketing slogan from another cruise line, but I really think that there's reasons to take a short 3-night cruise and fly in for it, but ideally no, because almost certainly the airfare will not really make it worthwhile. But it's been known to happen before, and I've certainly done that myself. Sometimes you just feel that way. How do you get the most out of the deluxe drink package? So yeah, the obvious, you drink a lot, which you already knew. Besides beer and alcohol, bottled water, coffees, sodas. Bottled water is a huge one. You can stock up on bottled water to bring with you off the ship. That's a really good tip right there. But don't rely purely on alcohol, especially coffees. You can go to Cafe Promenade and get a latte or a macchiato, and that's included as well. So yeah. What's the best excursion to take in Nassau? Boy, I mean, best subjective, right? Very popular ones are things like the Blue Lagoon, Pearl Island. I like personally for me, but I like having my drinks delivered to me, and I like a nice pool in addition to the beach. I like going to resortforaday.com and getting a day pass to a resort. I like that quite a bit. We'll be back again next Monday, right here on YouTube to answer more of your Royal Caribbean questions. So until then, have a great week, everybody. Bye, everybody.